hands down. I think we saw this in game 1 where IPT were really pushing back TME. But the thing is, TME fought back because why? Marky had Severe. One of the picks that's highly contested and was banned out in game 2 because of the stall potential. The wave clear that Severe offers is just ridiculous, and I think that was TME's style in their winning game, and that's how they were able to push it back into game 3.
Yeah, but in game 2, the Severe was banned, so the option for TME to stall wasn't there. They only had the gangplank. Unfortunately, JLC wasn't able to work with his pick, and I think for this third game, a lot of adjustments have to be made by Team Manila Eagles, because after that second game, that was very, very one-sided, and that could really break your spirit going on to the third game of a best-of-3.
And so far for IPT to really end that game so quickly, I'm just lost for words, because for Team Manila Eagles, they wanted to stall the game. They tried their best, but what happened in that game that really stood up for me personally was how the mid lane was played. Really being pressured. Trevor could not handle the constant harassment coming from the Vladimir.
Yeah, and if you're a Galio, there's really not much you can do to try and push back the Vladimir. He's gonna have that heal, and he's always going to bully you in lane, because all Galio will do in lane is he'll be forced to wave clear over and over, whereas Light, he has more options. He can go aggressive, he can roam, where the Galio just wasn't given that option because of the early kills as well that Light got.
And the first blood itself was already a huge statement. Koops got caught in the riverside, which was kind of weird in a sense that how IPT was moving a bit aggressive. I think they in a way telegraphed the movements of Koops' Zap.
Yeah, and I think yun yung isa sa mga reasons kung bakit sobrang one-sided yung game. If you're able to shut down the Zac, which is one of the highest pressure junglers in the current meta, there's really not much you can do to try and possibly come back. As we head into the final pick and ban phase for today, we're gonna see what these teams will go all out with.
So let's get straight to it. I'm actually waiting out to see how can TME go for a sorry about that. I'm actually waiting for TME to pick up a more early game based composition rather than relying on a late scaling composition.
Yeah, and I think that's where the meta has shifted a bit. And speaking of shifts, TME, they've opted to ban out the Vladimir, denying that pick from Light. And now what that means for IPT, they will be jumping onto the Kog'Maw, which Hate performed very, very well on during that previous game. Hindi talaga nagulat na Kog'Maw agad ang piniknet.
So for IPT, so what's the game plan here for TME? I mean, not anymore. I don't think we'll be seeing any more Gangplank top.
I think for TME, isang game plan na pwede sila mag-default is just let Marky, give Marky resources to carry, because we all know that Marky as an AD carry, he's very, very good in his positioning, he's very good in team fights, and he can really just act as the carry for TME, but I think they need to give him resources, just give him the tools that he needs to carry.
And this is such a common pick that we hear, like a common combo that we love to see all the time. A Kog'Maw and a Tahm Kench picked already by IPT, and finishing it up with another champion who does fare really well with, again, the famous meta, the Rise mid with the Unsealed Spellbook.
Yeah, and having the Unsealed Spellbook, that just means that there will be more Flash Rune Prisons coming from Light's Rise, and I really also like the Tahm Kench pick coming from IPT, because I think he's one of the strongest supports in the current meta, provides a lot of protection, and he denies a lot of what the enemy team can do to engage on you. And looking at TME's comp, they have the Varus, they have the Jarvan. These tools to engage onto the very mobile Kog'Maw, having the Tahm Kench just adds more protection.
Yes, and for IPT, now we're on the second phase. I want to see how TME, again, reserving their pick for the top lane. This is the same. I think this is a pattern that we're seeing and we're much getting used to. And for TME, locking in Dynami with the Varus. Why did TME opt to highly prioritize this Varus, Gisto?
I think they just want to give Marky a comfort pick. Given na yung previous game, sobrang daming bans na pinapato kay Marky. For the third game, they want Marky to be as comfortable as possible, a champion he can perform well on. And speaking of comfort picks, TME, they're saving their last pick for counter pick kay JLC. They want him to have a favorable lane versus Suzaku, because they need him to apply pressure in the top lane so that Marky can freely scale. And it looks like the counter pick to Suzaku's Camille is the Jace.
Why a Jace though?
I think Jace is very good in melee to range matchups where he can bully the opposing laner and really just keep them down. But Camille is very scary in a long lane 1v1. She still has the gap close available to dive onto JLC. And speaking of diving, we see a Rengar from Evilis.
Evilis on this Rengar. Why did the Rengar pop up to you, Jesus? Why did you point this out? I mean, judging from the Camille and the Jace matchup, I do have to agree with you, but Camille does have the mobility and the timing in the right hands can really deny the full burst potential of a Jace, but still leave it to one of the most oppressive top laners, a Jace pickup. Here we are, the last game of Match 2. Imperium Pro Team versus Team Manila Eagles. This will conclude the first day of the second week. Let's see how things will pan out on the Rift. Who will step up and rise above the rankings? We'll see.
And pinag-usapan mo yung magsi-step up, diba? And I really want to talk about the Rengar pick from Evilis. I think Rengar level 1.
Oh, face check there. Who's going to win here? TME has the level 1 advantage. They have the surprise. First blood already onto Marky. Now all of the summoners burned. You burn summoners here and there. In the end, the first blood fell in the hands of TME. Oh, the bubble. Not yet over. The Aqua Prison will be maybe Shadow's death. Chasing down, mowing them down one by one. Will this be 3 kills for TME at the Star Flash per JLC? Shock Blast. Prison will connect.
Grabe yung mga bubble ni Rock.
Wow!
The entire exchange is sobrang on point ng Aqua Prison sa Nami, and they will secure 2 kills just from that. And a key kill went to Marky. So what that means, Varus will now have a faster time getting to his core items. What a big early game win.
So let's break it down what happened in the 1v1. First blood, everything went into the favor of TME. No doubt about that. And looking at the Summoner's Burn, that is a huge blow to this Kog'Maw. Heal, flash, and a flash from Shadow Burn. The safety that the Kog'Maw needs in the early phase is gone. You cannot depend on their spells anymore, and this will really shape how the bot lane matchup will turn out for IPT.
Yeah, and speaking of the bot lane match, hindi ako magugulat if Kups goes for a gank bot lane because alam niyang walang flash yung Tahm Kench and yung Kog'Maw. And Jarvan, as we all know, is a very scary early game jungler.
Oh, wow. Look at the initiative coming from Kups. But look at that reactiveness from Light. Instantly flashes out.
Yeah, but look at IPT. They've already been forced to burn 4 of their flashes. And di ako magugulat since Kups is pathing around this red buff, he might just head onto the top lane and burn Suzaku's flash as well. But now IPT will be forced to play very, very passively because they don't have their flash. And Jarvan can really punish these flashless members in the early game, whereas Rengar, you need to really flank around them or possibly hit that level 6 before you can punish flashless members.
And see how things are looking for the bot lane of IPT. Summoners burn, no more safety, no more defensive summoners for Shadow, for Hate. This gives Marky and Rock so much control, freezing that lane, zoning them out. This is how it's played when you know that you have the upper hand.
And that's just smart play coming from TME, knowing they have the advantage. Alam nila sila yung may pressure, so tinutulak nila pabalik yung bot lane ng IPT and really denying a lot of gold that they can get and not let Hates get his core items again on this Kog'Maw.
And when you're talking about a Kog'Maw, it's very item dependent. You need to really baby the Kog'Maw and wait for those spikes. And now in the top lane matchup, we did say, I think, Chisto, you did say that it was a counter pick towards the Camille. The Camille can go in, but the Jace can always knock the Camille back. I don't think that's enough. That's just, let's say, a first aid, not the actual cure for the matchup of Camille and Jace. Because let Camille become level 6, Jace cannot escape.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, during the early laning phase nga, mabubully ni JLC si Suzaku. Pero pag lumampas na tayo na laning phase, it's just very hard for the Jace to 1v1 the Camille if he isn't ahead. Kasi, like we all know, Jace is very, very snowball reliant as a champion. If you don't get out of laning phase ahead on Jace, it's going to be very hard for you to stay relevant throughout the mid game. And that's such a tough position to be in. So it's critical that TME continues to build on their current lead.
And when you want to talk about lead, TME already has that first blood and 1 kill under their belt. That gave immediate advantage for Marky. And in the itemization path, he may just rush the Rage Blade instantly. We'll see, because this is a rather... I think we've seen Marky on a Varus before. He does get the Rage Blade first. Now, he doesn't go for the lethality. Yeah, or is the lethality kind of a old build?
It's kind of outdated. Medyo ancient history na yung lethality build kasi it just doesn't deal as much damage in the late game. And looking at the style that TME wants to play...
Here it comes, aggressive gags countered by Coops. Spots down Ivalus, eats him up for the savior. Will he succeed? Exhausted, heal is there. He will be surviving. Piercing arrow! It'll be Coops for the kill.
Yeah, just enough range on both.
Oh, but IPT, they're fighting back again with that Aqua Prison. Light goes in, intervenes in the bot lane. Now, focus on to Mark Ignited. Low on health, does not have the summoners. Light gets the kill.
Yeah, and that was very smart play by Light. Nakikita niya, hinaharangan ng TME si Marky para mag-survive siya nun. Pero he bounced the Q from the Rise E spread. So very well played by IPT's mid laner. Great understanding of Rise mechanics.
And wow, as we always said before, as I said before rather in game 2, how Light has been highlighted, and now he's playing so proactive. This is a good sign, and let's hope that IPT can maintain this if they want to go for a reverse sweep. Whereas for TME, really good start. Maintain that lead. A good start and a good finish is what TME is aiming for.
And gaya na sinabi mo, it's how you finish. It's not important kung paano kayo nagsimula. It's all about kung paano kayo natapos. And if you're IPT, you're thinking we want to finish this with a 2-1 and really prove na we can compete again in the Pro Gaming Series.
And this is actually a long history there for IPT. They want that championship, Chisto. And I think you know the history that IPT had in the PGS.
Yeah, they've been around quite a long time, and they've always challenged for that top spot, but as of recent, they really haven't had the opportunity to perform on the biggest stages where they can really show off how good they are. But it's a new year. Maybe
new year. Well, JLC trying to counter Suzaku. There's the Hex Ultimatum. He's not getting anywhere. Low on mana. JLC has no more resources, but does have the summoners. Ooh, but still will catch Suzaku under his own turret.
Yeah, and feeling ko inaantay lang talaga natin na mangyari yun. Once the Camille hit level 6, kayang-kaya na niyang i-all in yung Jace, and there's really no way for JLC to escape even though he had flash. So great solo kill by IPT's top laner.
And that sums up the top lane, and for Suzaku on a Camille, already picking up the Shin, going for a more duelist path instead of rushing the Tiamat to go for a more powerful push. This is going to be TME kinda on the ropes, because what we saw in the surprise level 1 brush favored TME a lot. But for IPT, they're slowly catching up.
Yeah, and feeling ko napakatalino ng itemization ni Suzaku. Imbes na tanggapin na lang na ipupush in sa ng Jace and kailangan niyang i-match yung wave clear, mas pinili na lang niya bilhin yung item na, uy, kaya kong i-1v1 tong Jace, maybe I should go for more burst damage, more all-in, instead of opting for more wave clear and just accepting na mabubully ako ni Jace. So it's very smart by Suzaku.
And judging by the itemization path from that first kill, going for the Tabi and the boost of speed, really going for a 1v1. Like I said before, Suzaku wants to really face off against JLC on his own and provide more pressure for his team so that Light can freely roam around the map, go for more objective plays.
And speaking of itemization paths, I see a Tear of the Goddess and a Catalyst on the rise. We all know Light will be scaling into the late game, possibly taking what could be an Abyssal Mask, really help his team deal more DPS.
Another gang in the top lane though. Ooh, gets the knife. He won't be getting anywhere with the Cataclysm, but flash away.
He did get somewhere. The boy should have known.
I thought he would have been locked down or pinned down by the Cataclysm, but by the sheer luck, he did manage to arrive at the corner of the Cataclysm, so he did
He's going back in.
Get extra range under the turret. Look at the aggressive play here. He can do it. He does have the adaptive shield but has to respect that burst coming from the Jace.
Wait, okay. Questionable decision there. Try and go back. He already survived the first time, but playing with fire, unfortunately for him, nasunog siya. Napaso siya dun. And he will go down.
And I think from that clash in the top lane, I gotta hand it to Suzaku. He knows this champion so well. Goes in, he knows that he has the adaptive shield that actually baited in TME. And possibly, almost, if he ever TME did overcommit, that would have been an easy bait for Suzaku. Maybe would set up for a kill or for a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, and
ooh, look at that.
Teleport got cancelled.
Teleport cancel. What's this?
That was respect by Hit. Because the timing was very, very precise. So if he did choose to complete the channel teleport.
And you know what this means? Opens up for the Infernal.
Yeah, and
great decision.
Will IPT respond to this? Evilist isn't even near.
Evilist can't reach there, but top lane looks a bit busy. JLC wants to get a revenge from Suzaku. He does miss the tactical sweep, and JLC will finish it off with a shock blast.
What a revenge right there by JLC. He's able to solo kill back Suzaku and...
Oh,
are they going to go for this?
Well, more. That's going to be a tower dive. Committing in. He does have the stasis. Just baits in JLC. Now Light and Evilist will be dancing around the turret. But very close, 2 healths blinking red. JLC will survive the dance.
That was very close margins by JLC. I don't think he could have played that any better. But the proactivity from IPT is being shut down at the moment. Look at the mid lane. Trevor and Coops, I think they will be able to take down this tower unless anybody from IPT can respond in time.
Well, the first turn of the game at stake here, and I think the solo gold will go to Trevor.
Yeah, and that's big. That's big for Cassiope because alam natin lahat, Cassiope scales towards the late game. The more gold you have, the faster you can get your items, and just like that, 650 gold. I'm pretty sure he's smiling. He's happy.
He's happy, so we'll finish up, let's say, the Archangel Staff.
Yeah, possibly. Or an Abyssal Mask, something like that.
So we'll see once things do get a bit interesting for TME. They're knowing that they have a good lead, a good start. Still trying to maintain it. Gets the Infernal. That is going to benefit Trevor so much on that Cassiopeia.
Yeah, it will benefit them so much. And looking at how the game has panned out, it is TME with a 2 towers to none lead. And a lot of that can be credited to their jungler Coops. He's been setting up a lot of these ganks and really helping Team Maniliga soar over IPT.
And almost 12 minutes into the game here, it's going to be TME playing more objective-wise. Getting the Infernal now. The Rift Herald in their hands. They can go for more aggressive dives. Maybe they'll go for the top lane next.
Yeah, and come to think of it, AB yung unang dalawang game nag-warm up lang talaga yung TME. Nagre-ready lang sila eh. Parang dina-download pa nila lahat ng kayang gawin ng IPT. And for this third game, na-gets na nila na everything's just falling right into place. All of the objectives sila nakakuha. All of the kills sila nakakuha. And even the level 1, sila yung nakakuha. And the warm-up, now, it's coming all together.
Remember what we saw in Game 2 where they almost met face-to-face and they just backed off? Now in Game 3, IPT knows this, TME knows this, and that's why TME had the upper hand, waiting in the brush so that they can have the upper hand for more surprise and gets 2 kills right off the bat. And as you said, from downloading, let's say, their playstyles, reading the enemy, I think this is the nature of the best of 3. In the group stages. This is why I think the best of 3 transition format is really good for the players. They could learn more, they could grow, and show us how it's being played more competitively.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you on that point na best of 3 really makes it more competitive for everyone kasi it teaches the players, natututo sila ng adaptability through experience. The more they're exposed to this, the better they will get. The more games they will play. And it applies to everyone out there. If you're able to play more games with a practice mindset where I want to get better, it can really help you improve.
And for IPT, will they bloom in this game? Because it's a bit slowed down because Vladimir has been banned in this third game. So Light will have to sit back, build up the Tear of the Goddess, just wait out for his time to shine. But when it does come, a Rise can really split push fast. And it could be actually ridiculous if TME lets this slide. And JLC on this Jace Also, a Jace can be a split pushing champion, but it's not as powerful. Doesn't have the powerful wave clear compared to other champs. Let's say in this game, the Rise.
Yeah, pero feeling ko hindi hahayaan ng TME na mag-push na lang sila or pa-farmin. I think TME, what they want to do now is they know they're ahead. They know we have the Jarvan to dive towers. Why not go for a dive? Let's use the Chain of Corruption from Marky. Let's siege down these towers and really just pressure IPT into making a bad decision. And tignan mo, they're brute forcing the bot lane tower, sending their Fed members down. Coop still has the Rift Herald in his inventory after they take this tower. Pwede lang spawn yan and possibly take another tower from IPT.
And teleport is available for Suzaku's. So if ever TME does commit, he can respond, but will be busy in the top lane. That's going to be two-man gank here. JLC trying to fight back. Misses Shock Plus, flashes away, but still will be taken down by Ivalice. Meanwhile, though, TME, they spawn the Herald, now brute forcing again in this inner bot lane turret.
Yeah, napatay nga ng IPT si JLC, but JLC will be typing hashtag worth kasi nakakuha ng dalawang tower yung TME sa bot lane. That is very, very good gold-wise for his team.
And good-wise and objective standpoint, if you're looking at the bigger picture here, that will open up their lane, that will free things up, and possibly...
Marky has to be careful.
Look at that. He has to be careful, but I think he can take him on. Yeah. Maybe those...
He knows.
Those senses, I think. Maybe something is...
Not scared.
It's too quiet. Tactical sweep will miss. Oh god, leap. That's in leap range, but will be forced them.
He's not afraid.
He's not afraid. He's forcing them to back off. He does have the recurve bow and the pickaxe, and if things go really bad, he can always pop that stopwatch.
I like the aggression from Marky, showing them that
back off.
Yeah, back off. Even though you're Rengar, I'm a marksman. I'm not scared at all. And now TME, they're invading the blue side jungle of Imperium Pro Team, making use of their lead.
And you know what I love about Imperium Pro Team's Rise mid? Despite the very powerful engages from Coops' lockdown. Oh, what's this? Abyssal Voyage. Let's see that. And a teleport. Wow. Looks like IPT. They're not going to allow JLC to split push.
Yeah, but
look at the quick respawns.
That is the teleport burn though. So that means that's less global pressure.
But we're talking about global pressure where we're seeing Hate and Light having 2 teleports. I think that's enough pressure already.
You really want a Kog'Maw teleporting?
We did see Hate.
Flanking Kog'Maw perhaps?
I think for Hate to actually teleport, remember the cancel he did? I think it was him. He should have just teleported inside the turret. Just teleport the turret. He didn't do that. And that's how TME were able to get the Infernal Drake. Because they know that, hey, we know that Hate is still in the base. Why not go for the Infernal?
Yeah, but just like this, I think things have slowed down a bit. Both teams just opting to farm. Parang ayaw na muna lumaban. Chill lang muna tayo.
Ooh, flash in. Hex to eliminate him for the lockdown. Will he survive? Trevor does cleanse away. Ivalice on to rocks, exhausted, and there's the Coops with a re-engage with the Cataclysm. He's not going anywhere. Trevor picks up the kill. Shock plus for the snipe. Does whittle him down just a bit, but I don't think Suzaku will be scared of that. One member down.
Feeling ko may sumpa tayo. Just as we say na ayaw nila lumaban, they immediately go for an engage. Parang naririnig nila tayo. Feeling ko talaga may sumpa eh. Pag sinabi nating lalaban, hindi sila lalaban. Doon sila lalaban. So pag sinabi nating lalaban sila, doon sila mag-aatrasan. It's kind of confusing in a sense.
But that's what makes the games fun. You don't know what's going to happen next, and that's why we're watching here and to see how IPT can try and fight back against TME's aggressive brute force. I mean, 4 members invested in the top lane. They're going for this turret. Ganging up, leaving GLC maybe to the bot lane right now, pressuring that lane. This is what they love doing, but they have to watch out. Always take note of Light's rise with the Realm Warp. I mean, you have the Abyssal Voyage, and now you have the Realm Warp. That's 2 tools to flank TME. They have to be very careful. They need to be aware of their vision.
Yeah, but even if you flank, TME has a lot of ways to engage onto your comp. We have the Jarvan to dunk you down. We have the Varus, Chain of Corruption. We all know how scary that ability is. And looking at if IPT tries to force a fight, it looks like they'll be in a disadvantaged position because TME at this stage in the game, they're just so far ahead.
And for TME already solidifying their lead, Chain of Corruption won't connect, but the Aqua Prisoner will set things up here. He does flash away and does save Hate's life. Now he has to survive, deal damage. They will survive. 3 ultimates perhaps from TME, and now for TME, they're kind of low, especially Trevor, blinking red at critical health. This will signal them to back off.
Yeah, they will survive, but that's still IPT being forced back. TME are dictating the way this game goes. Parang IPT is just forced. Parang pinipilit lang nila yung IPT. Mag-defend lang kayo, mag-defend lang kayo, mag-defend. Ganun lang yung pinapagawa ng TME.
And this is where IPT can actually start their win conditions, stall the game, let Light on this Rise scale up. So far, he's not yet building the tier into any item just yet. He did manage to finish his Abyssal Mask. So this could be the start of maybe a snowballing rise. Ivalice.
Uh-oh.
JLC. Okay, will he go for it?
Nice fight.
He knows. He has some restraint.
Actually, hindi lang si Light on Rise. It's also hate on the Kog'Maw. If he's able to get to that late game, it's going to be very, very scary for TME because Kog'Maw deals a lot of damage, and with Kups only the real tank from TME, it's going to be very, very tricky for them to actually dive in here.
And closing to the 20-minute mark, Baron is live right now. Next Drake is Infernal. If TME takes this away, this gives them so much damage, an upper hand compared to IPT. So they have to try and contest this, but they can always go for the pressure game.
Ooh.
Play the mind game.
I don't think IPT sees this. Speaking of Baron though, TME's comp can actually take this down very, very quickly. They have the attack speed buff from Jarvan's Flag, they have Cassiopeia, they have Varus with Rage Blade. The moment they decide to go for this Baron, I think they can take it very quickly.
And let's see if they will commit to it, because that's actually risky. You're talking about a Tahm Kench and a Ryze. They can immediately respond to that.
Can they respond to this though? They don't see this happening.
Only 2 members.
Yeah.
This is sneaky. Make it 3. Oh, no vision secured by IPT. This is blind. Oh,
I think they sense it.
They sense it. Morbid is coming in.
Oh, it's cancelled.
It's cancelled. Instead, it will be Ivalice engaging with a stealth. Immediately deletes rocks, but Trevor will fight back, takes down Ivalice, and now the Baron has reset. This will stop them from taking the Baron.
Yeah, but was that worth it though? It is the jungler for support. I think TME, they're just waiting for Kups to regenerate his health, and they can go back to this Baron. Maybe?
So not anymore, it's going to be a 50-50, but still, the Realm Warp was burned. So it's on cooldown, but the Abyssal Voyage is also on cooldown. Instead, maybe go for the less risky ones. The Infernal will be alive in 48 seconds. They can't afford to lose any members. And by that time, yes, Ivalice is back from the base. He's alive. They can try and contest this away from TME.
Yeah, it is up in 30 seconds now, but Marky is still in the top lane. They're going to need the Varus to take down the Dragon. Safer at least. They do have Trevor on Cassiopeia to take it down fairly quickly.
And we all know that a Kog'Maw is more favored in the late game compared to a Varus.
Yeah, I should say, since Kog'Maw has that W where he can shred these tanks even quicker.
And for Varus, he does have the same property where, okay, I can deal magic damage with the Blight stacks, I can stack things up and finish it with the Piercing Arrow. So in terms of damage, they're quite alike, but still far apart in terms of late game and team damage.
I think the main difference for Varus and Kog'Maw late game is that Varus provides your team with a lot more engage, whereas Kog'Maw has a lot more range.
Okay, let's see if that team fight advantage will help. TME still blind. IPT will not commit to anything, so this will be the second Drake in the hands of TME. Things are looking so good for TME, but for IPT, we're still not yet sure. Red buff could be denied here. Yes, that will be a red buff denied from Hate. He could have used that so well. He needed that to shred tanks.
Alam mo, nagtataka ko parang ang daming freebies na pinapamigay sa TME.
In a way, yeah.
Libreng red buff, libreng Infernal Drake, and
maybe also Baron.
Maybe libreng Baron. I wonder why they're getting so many freebies.
Because
how do I sign up for that?
Maybe they're also waiting things up for the scale of the Rise of the Kog'Maw. But at this point, isn't it enough, Chisto?
Yeah, but there's a window you have to play with, and you're waiting for them to scale, but you're also letting the enemy team scale, and there's gonna be a point in the game kung saan hindi nyo lang sila kayang labanan kasi mas mataas talaga yung experience nila, mas mataas yung gold nila, and they're just gonna be stronger in a sense.
And also for JLC, he does have the Dusk Blade. Can go for a more assassination here. Let's see how things will pan out. Camille does have the adaptive helmet. That's really annoying. Hexa ultimate is in play, but GLC with a burst immediately makes Suzuka regret his decision. Flash for flash there. GLC can still chase this Camille down. Cooldown should be up right now. There it is. Gateway in. Shock Blast though will not reach Camille. So instead, he'll just be scaring away Suzaku. At least the flash was burnt by both the Camille and the Jace. And now, again, a sneaky Baron by TME. I don't know why IPT is not putting visions in this Baron pit.
They can't because there's practically no way for them to face check. It's very dangerous to face check in a Cassiopeia and a Varus. And sa dami ng wards, sa dami ng control wards na nilagay ng TME sa area na yun, there's really no choice for IPT but to just check it with Realm Warp. And now that the cooldown is burned, TME can just reset the play and immediately go for the Baron. But
this is bad. Lights gets locked down. But great save by Shadow.
Yeah, and
how many ultimates was burned there? 2, right?
2, but
I know Trevor still has the Trevor still has the petrifying gaze. But yes, 2 ultimates were burnt in that team fight. Clear up the hunt. Ivalice knows what's happening here. Trevor coming in. Chain of Corruption. Ooh! Look at that Chain of Corruption immediately catches Ivalice, kills him off, and with TME taking the Baron.
That was insane by Marky. He actually caught him out of
Spider
sense. That was very, very well played. And just like that, Baron going over to TME.
Well, he did show himself quite a bit. Remember, that's a camouflage. You can still be spotted. And the fact that Rox was a bit outside the pit grant them that slight vision. And Marky just used the corruption. And not anymore. That was a risky Baron without the jungler. And with TME, with the Baron buff in their hands, they are pushing the mid lane.
Yeah, and that's about it. A 10k gold lead has opened up for TME, and we both know how hard it is for teams to come back from a 10k gold deficit. Even though IPT, meron silang late game, meron silang scaling. Ang tanong, paano sila aabot doon? Mahihirapan sila, pero it is doable.
What could be their win conditions for IPT?
The same as game 1 for TME, basically stall the game for 40 minutes.
Stall the game again for 40 minutes?
Yeah, that's basically what you do, because once you hit 40 minutes, everyone's gonna be 6 items and gold won't matter. But 26 minutes in, gold does matter.
Still, right? Still, but in the end, even though the gold does get equalized, what matters in the end? The fact that TME has 2 Infernal Drakes and 1 Cloud Drake. I think that's huge. That was an investment TME placed, and it's really rewarding them in the late game.
Yeah, and now, with those 2 Infernal Drakes, the members of TME have completed the damage items they need.
Look at Cassiopeia.
Yeah, I mean, that's very scary.
Fully stacked, has the Merle and the Roa, and now has the Seraph's Embrace. That is huge. Defensive items for Trevor.
You kind of have to feel for IPT na they don't have the luxury of having Sivir, so they can't stall as long.
Yeah.
But it's actually a 1v1 fight here, and this is very risky by Suzaku to take. JLC is very, very strong in a 1v1, and Suzaku's fairly behind, but just get popped.
The sudden burst of damage is something that you cannot underestimate on a Jace. But the base of IPT, it's in shambles. Looks like they won't be waiting for the late scale cup. Can this be the time where IPT can fight back for once? Because for how the game has been going, they've been constantly letting TME roam around the map, let them take all the objectives.
I don't think IPT has enough tools to actually stop the siege here. They do have 1 or 2 options to engage, but what if they do engage? There's so much tools from TME to just turn around and...
They're not waiting anymore. Ivalice wants to go for an engage. But once he goes in, he's
just gonna die.
He's a dead man.
He's a dead cat.
You can't overcommit to this. I mean, this is the difficult part of being a Rengar in a late game. You have, compared to a Kha'Zix, you have a better way to initiate, but you don't have a better way to get out once you initiate.
It's a one-way trip,
It's a one-way trip, but for Kha'Zix, I mean, you can
There's
go...
no Kha'Zix in this game, bro.
But if you're a Kha'Zix, that's why I'm comparing Rengar and Kha'Zix. But if you were a Kha'Zix, it will be different case.
Yeah, definitely. But now, I think TME are gonna opt for the safe call, and since nakuha nila yung dalawang inhibitor in top and mid, they're just gonna go bot lane and play this very, very standard. There is also another Drake opening up, but it is just a Cloud Drake. I think that will be a sort of consolation prize for them at this stage.
At least the Elder will open up soon, so this could be TME preparing for that.
I don't think TME want this game to last till Elder Spawns.
Yeah,
Feeling ko, ano eh.
it does spawn after 35 minutes, so they don't want to stall a game long enough for Light to catch up. Also for Hate.
Yeah, feeling ko gusto nilang tapusin to. Parang, hindi natin patagalin. All business na tayo. Let's just go bot lane after this Cloud Drake. Tapusin na natin yung game.
You sound very impatient.
No, I mean, it's what's on the minds of TME. You don't want them to let IPT scale and make the same errors, I should say, that happened in the first game.
Yes, and this is what you expect from competitive play, especially the PGS. Again, for a 1v1 rematch here. But this time, is it 1v1 though? JLC said, oh wait, no. Great flash there, but walks in onto Light's face. He can't get out of here.
Napaka-interesting ng 1v1 na yun. Medyo apat yung bilang ko na kalaban ni JLC.
I think JLC was expecting a 1v1, but to his surprise, meets 5 members, but that does open up the bot lane for TME to wreck.
Okay, this is a slight window for
Jen versus all 3 members. Tidal Waves coming in, 2-man knockup. Light closing in, flashes in, trying to deal damage, but Trevor shuts him down with the gaze, and with Marky getting a double kill, make it a triple.
Yeah, and with that triple kill going over to Marky, I think this will signal the end of the game. This is TME winning the series 2-1.
Great job for TME. That, in a sense that, yes, they had a great lead. I think the lead really changed how they finished this game, making it a 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, they started off strong. They did get those 2 kills during the early invade, and they did finish strong as well. They were able to get the 2-1, so very well played game by Team Manila Eagles.
Congratulations to TME for concluding match 2 with a 2-1. Compared to the first week, this is actually some improvements they had, at least in the standings.
Yeah, definitely, and credits as well. Credits again to TME. They really upped their game. Considering their week 1 opponents was Mineski, I think they were a very tough challenge, and the adjustments they made, the improvements as well in their macro, very, very nice to see from Team Manila, showing why they are the defending champions.
And so far, I was really looking forward for IPT to try and take away Game 3, but still, kudos to TME for... Was it TME though playing the better game, or was it IPT having a really bad start, Chisto?
I think it was a mixture of both, where IPT did have a bad start and TME pounced on it and really punished them for it.
I mean, burning 2 summoners for the Kog'Maw, defensive summoners, immediately we saw the results of that in the bot lane.
Yeah, nakita nga natin na zone, parang na zone na sobrang tagal si Hate tsaka si Shadow na hindi na talaga sila nakapag-farm. It really led to the rest of IPT strong. It was a ripple effect where nahirapan bot lane natin, hindi na tayo makapag-setup sa mid, hindi na tayo nakapag-setup sa top end. TME understands that very well, and they really punished IPT for it.
And that concludes again for match 2 of Game 3. Congratulations again from TME, but let's hear it from the team themselves, how they feel about this victory.
Maraming salamat, Vulcan and Chisto. So syempre kasama ko ngayon ang probably one of the Philippines, isa sa fan favorite, and also one of the strongest ADC sa Pinas, syempre si Marky. So wow, great game so far, great match. So I guess let's go to the basic question. Ano yung feeling na natuwan yung IPT going into this match?
Syempre, nung feeling namin na natuwan namin sila, masaya kami kasi nakabawi na kami mula sa 1-2 na talo namin last week. At saka makakahabol na kami sa points. Tsaka masaya din kami kasi manalo matalo, ganun pa rin naman yung pagkasama namin sa IPT. Kaya masaya rin sila kalaro kasi nandun din yung mga former teammates ko na sila Shadow tsaka si Zaku.
So bagay, yan din yung actually sinasabi ko kanina na yun yung maganda sa dynamic ng team nyo na in-game, syempre matik bakbakan. Pero at least off the riff, nandun pa rin yung pagkakaibigan. Pero from week 1 and week 2, maraming nakapansin na performance-wise sa mga games na medyo talo, medyo stomp in a way, I guess, from Mineski and IPT. Pero sa mga games na napanalo nyo, it's not the same full stomp na nakita namin from last split. So tingin mo, ano yung potential holdback? Or may holdback nga ba? Is it probably because dahil sa meta na nagle-late game lang kayo? Or mas malakas lang talaga yung kalaban niyo sa first weeks? Ano sa tingin?
Siguro dun, sa meta rin kasi naninibago pa rin kami sa meta eh. Kumakapaka pa kami kung ano talaga yung babagay sa lineup namin, kung ano yung babagay sa playstyle namin. Tsaka yung kulang din kami sa practice. Di kagaya last split. Kasi last split, halos bakasyon kami lahat ng mga pumapasok eh. Ngayon, nasa school kami. Kaya yung practice namin tuwing gabi lang talaga lagi eh.
So bagay, summer split nga naman kasi last split. Tapos ngayon spring, medyo sakto siya sa pasukan. Siyempre, last question. Anong message mo sa fans, sa family, inspiration, meron man?
Babati ako sa kina tito-tita sa bootcamp na nanonood. Yung sina kay Boss Rap, yung sister team namin na IPT, tsaka yung team ko, mga parents ko na nanonood, tsaka yung inspiration ko na nanonood.
Yun! That's what I'm talking about. So, ayan guys, that has been quite the number of matches that we've had for the day. Pero when we come back, we'll be seeing very intense boys on Naga as well as Infused, if I'm not mistaken, that will be going head to head. Oh wait, no. A little bit shaky on remembering the matches, but rest assured, ang dami nating games for tomorrow na dapat subaybayan. So thank you so much, Marky. So on behalf of Chisto and Vulcan, this has been Arctic na medyo makalimot sa matches. And once again, this is the Bacchus Pro Gaming Series Spring Split. See you guys tomorrow, but for the meantime, have a good dinner and adios.
There, who's gonna win here? TME has the level 1 advantage. They have the surprise first blood already onto Marky. Now all of the summoners burned. You burn summoners here and there. In the end, the first block fell in the hands of TME. Lion over the Aqua Prison will be maybe Shadow's death, chasing down, mowing them down one by one. Will this be 3 kills for TME at the Star Flash per JLC? Shock Blast Prison will connect. Lockdown. Will he survive? Trevor does cleanse away. Ivalis onto Rock, exhausted. And there's the Coops. Gonna re-engage with the Cataclysm. He's not going anywhere. Trevor picks up the kill. Shock Blast for the snipe. Does wiggle him down just a here. Trevor coming in. Chain of Corruption. Ooh! Look at that Chain of Corruption. Immediately catches Ivalis. Kills him off and with TME taking the Baron.
That was insane by Marky.
Oh, Chain of Corruption. All 3 members. Tidal Waves coming in, 2-man knockup, like closing in, flashes in, trying to deal damage, but Trevor shuts him down with the gaze, and with Marky getting a double kill, making a triple!
And with that triple kill going over to Marky, I think this will signal the end of the game. This is TME winning the series 2-1.
Great job for TME, that, in a sense that, yes, they had a great lead. I think the lead really changed how they finished this game, making it a 2-1.